Empires community, Nick James here, and I hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday. Welcome to yet another week here in our Facebook community. At the moment, of course, we've got a 30-day training running all about how to promote, how to fill, how to maximise the opportunity of making maximum profit from your own live events. So today's module 6, and the topic today is all about inviting other speakers onto your stage. And there are a number of pros and cons to inviting other speakers onto your stage. Of course, you'll know that I've hosted some amazing, well-known speakers at my events. We've had Gary Vaynerchuk, we've had Lord Sugar, we've had Grant Cardone. So we've had lots of great speakers who have headlined our events. Hey Sam, how you doing? And really the topic today is, what are the pros and cons of doing that? Of course, there are some speakers who add massive value to your events. There are others that maybe... the biggest issue I see a lot of people struggle with, or the mistake they make, is that they bring speakers in without fully considering the consequences of doing so. And for me personally, when I'm running an event, I am acutely aware that all of the risk lies on my shoulders. And I'm also acutely aware that there are a lot of people that would love to get on stage and share their message with my audience, and maybe even sell their products and services to my audience. So for me, it's always a question of what is the business case for having this speaker on your stage? Because too many times I've seen people have speakers where I go, why have they really got them there? Have they got them there because it's adding value to the event, which it should be, of course, but does it make commercial sense? Is there a business case for it? So my first rule is that if you're going to have any speaker on stage at your event, they absolutely have to be relevant in terms of their message to your audience, the content they deliver, but also, they want to be relevant in terms of having a good values alignment with you. So there are plenty of speakers that I have on my stage who I've known for many years. They're good friends, they're mentors of mine, and so clearly there's a good values alignment there, and it makes logical sense for them to be on stage. There are also speakers who are banging my door down trying to get on stage at my events, and have been doing so for years, and I've always said flat no. And the reason I've said flat no is because either there isn't a values alignment, and more likely the content they teach or the products and services they sell aren't aligned with the philosophy of Expert Empires. So you've got to make sure, A, that they're highly relevant to you, to the event, to the audience, and that there's a good business case that it's financially viable to have them there, because and there's lots of different ways to do agreements with speakers. It might be that there is no money changing hands, but you feel that having them there is a good value add. It might be that you're paying them to speak on stage, like I've done with Gary, with Grant, with Lord Sugar. It might be that they're paying you, they're sponsoring your event, and that's how they're getting on stage. It might be that they're selling a product or a service, and you're going to do a split on the sales. There's loads of different financial models in terms of making it work, make it a good joint venture, because that's effectively what it is. But I'd be curious to know, question of the day for today is, who is your dream speaker that you would love to have on your stage? So I'm going to put it out there. My dream speaker, and I've been through some amazing ones, my dream speaker, the one person I'd love to have headline Expert Empires. I've shared this with a few people, but never really shared it publicly like this before. The speaker that I'd love to have headline Expert Empires in either 2019 or 2020 would be Tony Robbins, because, he started my journey when I was 12 years of age. That was the first seminar I ever went to. And I don't think anyone could really debate that in terms of expert status, in terms of being the most well-known coach, or he wouldn't call himself that, or speaker or author, he's pretty much the biggest one out there in the personal development world. So for me, that would be the dream speaker that I'd love to have headline Expert Empires. I'm putting it out there. Who would yours be? Question of the day. Who would your ultimate dream speaker that you'd love to have on your stage? Because, by the way, having a Gary Vaynerchuk or a Grant Cardone or a Lord Sugar, but let's talk about Gary Vaynerchuk, really, because he was the first big name speaker that I had at one of my events that was just mine. And the reason I had Gary was because, first of all, I wanted to attract a lot of attention into my events. And I knew that by having Gary headline that we would scoop up a load of new customers and a load of new people that would buy tickets just to see Gary. The idea being that they pay, a couple of £100 a ticket to see Gary and they get him for maybe an hour or so. But of course, they're in my event for a whole 2 days, and that's the opportunity that I've got to share my message and have people find out about our products and services as well. So Gary Vaynerchuk was, something that had a massive impact on me as a business person, as an entrepreneur. And so, I really wanted him to headline my event, and we achieved that. Wasn't cheap, but I felt that it was a worthwhile investment of money, because I knew that by having him there, we'd attract sponsors in, which we did. I knew that by having him there, we'd attract lots of ticket sales, which we did. And of course, the financials had to add up. We spoke about financials in module 5, I think it was last week. You can catch up on that one in the units section of this Facebook group. So the question of the day is, who would be the speaker that you would love to have on your stage? Who's the person who you really look up to, really admire, that would really help you to attract a lot more of your ideal clients into the room? And of course, there are a number of speakers that I've had on my stage that aren't a Gary Vaynerchuk or a Grant Cardone or a Lord Sugar that have had a massive impact on our audience, on our events, on our profit margins for our events as well, because either they sold really well or maybe they weren't selling but they paid a sponsor fee or whatever. So we have to make sure that there's a strong business case for it. But what I will say is that having speakers on stage at your events is a massive opportunity for you to reach more people, get more tickets sold, get more bums on seats, and ultimately make the event more profitable. That said, I don't always have speakers at my events. So our boot camps, like a 3-day boot camp, is just me training for 3 days. We don't have any sponsors or any other speakers. And the reason is because the point of the event is for people to learn from me how to fill the room, how to market their events, how to sell maximum amount of tickets, how to make their events powerful and profitable. So you don't always have speakers at your events, but it's a great way for you to add more value to the audience, reach more people, and generate more income from your events. So, question of the day, as we're wrapping up right now, question of the day is, who is the speaker that you would love to have on stage at your event? Please share. I've already shared mine. I'd love to have Tony Robbins headline Expert Empires at some point in the future. So please share. And the reason it might be good for you to share is because I've been doing this a while now, and I'm quite well connected. And so if there's somebody who you'd love to have speak at your event, I might happen to know. Maybe I can pull some strings and make it happen for you. You never know. So question of the day, who is the dream speaker you would love to have on stage at your events? Hope you've enjoyed today's module as much as I've enjoyed making it for you, as always. I'll see you back here tomorrow for module 7 of this 30-day live training. Take care. See you tomorrow.